5 turnovers from this Colts team is insane.
They have
26.
30 fumbles on the year.
What? The Broncos would be 10-2 if they scored 18 points every game.
The A.J. Brown revenge game was fully in effect. Jalen Hurts puts up 380.
Let him in, passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. This is NFL Week 13 recap. And as always, go down, like, and subscribe. And these are your hosts of this episode today. I'm Paul Pick'em, Wyndham, Contra, and I'm joined with...
Hey, man. You already know it's that boy, Kev. Water boy, you feel me? And we coming through to give you these Week 13 recap. But, boy, why has this been another wild-ass week of football? When is it not a wild-ass week of football? Like, that's what I'm looking at.
This is welcome to the National Football League, baby. Every week's wild. It's like the Wild Wild West when you tune in every week.
No, I think that's what I thank the podcast for. Because before podcasting, I just watched the Falcons and then whatever game was on at 8:00, and like now, when you look at the whole league as an aspect, and you know what teams did last week, and you're paying attention to what two they got to play next week, like it's all just so much fun. It's a lot though. I don't recommend it, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, keeping up with our records going into this week, Kev won the week. He went 8-5-1 because there was a tie, and I went 5-8-1.
But and like I hate my 5 because like my loss was the Bucks over to the Saints. I'm like, bro, that's some bullshit.
The Bengals, the Raiders.
The Bengals beat the Chiefs. That's some bullshit. And since the Raiders have won 3 in a row. That's insane. Like this is just.
It's a different time right now. All of a sudden, some teams are maybe they're not as dead as we thought. Maybe we threw them in the morgue too early.
Crazy.
Then on our locks, me and Kev went 1-0 on the locks. He took the Browns. I took the Seahawks. On our dogs, we both went 0-2. We thought it was gonna be dog heavy, but literally only 2 underdogs won this week. So we kind of missed on that one.
Yeah, we missed the fuck out of that one. Who won this week?
The only 2 dogs again, the Raiders and the Bengals. Me and Kev were big on the dogs, but we didn't pick the 2 dogs that did win. Neither one of us picked them.
What if that shit went down like that? We just happened to only pick the 2 dogs in the league.
It would have been nice. But now we're tied on the week to week, 6-6 with 1 tie. It wouldn't be fun if there wasn't a tie. But Kev's winning the year to date with 99-76-2 to my 92-83-2.
Fuck Tom Brady. I would have had 100 wins this week.
All facts, you really would have had 100 wins.
Fuck Tom Brady, man. And that's the game we're talking about first.
Oh, we're talking Monday Night Football. What happened? That's the first game on the Waterboy game, Kev?
You got to, man, because this shit was funny, kid. Because look, right? Shout out my dog, Devon, right? So he's a Saints fan. Only Saints fan I like. So motherfucking. So first thing I see him today, he has to take an exam, right? But I'm just over here shaking my head like, come on, man. Come on, man. 3 seconds, 2 plays. Y'all stop him right there.
Game after over. A fucking Donovan Smith holding call that pulls them all the way back. I thought they were dead after that.
Shit is crazy, man. But Tom motherfucking Brady, the most successful football player ever, came back because they was down 16-3.
Yeah, right here it was about 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 16-3. Saints had a 98.1% win percentage.
Bro, that's fucking insane.
They didn't factor in who was the quarterback on the other team, though.
I missed the first touchdown. How'd they get the first touchdown?
Cade Orton, they just moved 10 plays, 91 yards, 2 minutes, 2-minute drill. And Cade Orton, he goes, and not Gronk, but hey, any tight end will work with Brady. He gets it into the end zone. But on the second one, again, the 2-minute drill, I don't know how they got the ball back again. And like I said, They had a touchdown and they were on. It was like second and goal, first and goal. Got the touchdown, gets called back for a holding. Now they're like second and 15, and then a goal to go. And Tom Brady incompletion, gets a completion, and then finds Ricard White for the touchdown pass. And 3 seconds, like you said, 3 seconds left.
All they had to do was tackle, bro. Like he wasn't even like it was in the end zone. I'm looking like he just did the fuck out of this. Fuck your long haired ass, and it took that bitch straight into the end zone. Like I literally was asleep for 80% of this game.
And people are coming at Mark Ingram hard because apparently Mark Ingram got injured, but he stayed in the game, and they gave him the ball, and he was literally 1 yard short of the first down, but decided to run out of bounds with it, stops the clock, and it was incompletion. They get stuffed, all that stuff, and they end up having to punt, which leads to the 2 scores by the Bucks. If they would have just got that fucking first down or got tackled in bounds, we might be talking a different ball game right now.
And he apologized for it on Twitter. I accept his apology because I like to see the Saints lose. But fuck them. They really made me mad with this game.
But this game, I'm going to say, because early in the game, that boy Sham was talking, oh, yeah, bro, make Kamara an Eagle. That's imagine him, Hurts, and Sanders like that. Like, he would be a monster. But I'm going to say, bro, Kamara, 12 carries, 26 yards. Like, I'm not saying he's not the only one that's had games like this, but there's been numerous of games where I feel like this has been his impact. 10-plus carries, 40 or less yards, but he'll make it up with it because he has 6 or 7 catches for whatever the fuck. Again, this goes back to my Austin Eckler and CMC theory. Like, that doesn't help your fucking team. No, like, your team ran for 25 fucking times for 66 total yards. Mark Ingram had more yards on less carries. Like, no one's having to stack the box because of your run game right now. Why? Because it's not working. I don't care if Kamara can catch a few passes out the back and make shit work with it. Like, you need to be able to run the ball in this league. You gotta be able to do both.
And they can't do either.
Yeah, like, so Kamara, like, I love him and everything, but like, he's never been able to be that back. When they got rid of I think it was Mark Ingram the first time, because Mark Ingram was doing the lead back duties, and Kamara was the switch of pace, catching the balls, and he was doing what Tony Pollard was doing. And people were like, oh, yeah, he's way better. Look at him. He's doing this, this, and this. And then they got rid of Ingram, made him the fullback workhorse, and he hasn't never really had the same year since. And now we got Mark Ingram back.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got for this game, man. Back Tom Brady. Like the same second line.
Hey, Mike Evans ain't do shit again, though. 4 catches, 59 yards. Like, Lattimore made sure to come back Undertaker style to lock his ass up.
He didn't even play.
Oh, he did it? Damn, I apologize.
He was at the last second.
Was in there.
He was the last second
scratch.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next game on the slate?
So now we gotta talk about the game that made me second as much mad. The motherfucking Giants tying with the motherfucking Redskins. Commies.
Why does one make you mad? I thought this was pretty. I actually really enjoyed this game because it was like back and forth, the whole time. Defense is stepping up.
So let's take it to a tie 13-13. Heineke throws an interception. Giants get short field, score a touchdown, 13-20. I don't give a fuck about this game after that. I'm watching this game on the box score. Like, I'm watching that bitch down low just to make sure nobody scores. Nothing straight. I come back after the Falcons game. I see Heineke got the ball coming down. I'm like, who the fuck gave Heineke the ball? Only up 7.
Fourth quarter magic.
So of course Heineke takes that bitch down, and then the touchdown that they scored. I couldn't tell you how long it was, but bruh broke their mother. They gave him he got at least 12 to 13 yards after the catch. Like, bro, we's on the goal line. You got 5 motherfucking jerseys over here. Tackle. Same problem with the Saints. Tackle, you bitches. Motherfucking, don't let me talk about the Falcons. Tackle, you motherfuckers. Like, niggas did not want to tackle this week.
And Dolphins.
But then we get to the motherfucking, so they scored a touchdown, and I texted you. I'm like, yo, I don't trust this right now. Like, the Giants are making very uneasy right now, and I'm not even a Giants fan. I just don't appreciate that you gave Heineke the position in his element to take it down and tie this game up. They should have went for 2 on their stupid ass. But The Giants, who I think have a capable offense and are going to figure something out because all you need is a field goal. These motherfuckers take a deep shot immediately up the seam. D. Slayton up the seam, drops that motherfucker. And I'm like, hey, that was a good shot. I didn't see that coming on first down. They probably stacked the box with Saquon. You caught him in cover 2. Nice. So what do these motherfuckers do again? They throw another deep ball to D. Slayton down the motherfucking down the sideline. Defense was there. Can't do nothing about that. Cool. What did these motherfuckers do? Throw some ugly ass screen pass, something that barely didn't. I'm pretty sure it was I can't remember what pass it was, but it was ugly as fuck, and the nigga dropped it. So they got no time off the clock. So you just let Heineke drive down with 2 minutes, and then you just had an 8-second drive that could have worked if D. Slayton didn't drop the ball, but he also has the second highest drop percentage in the league right now with 15%. So you give it back to Taylor Heineke. Defense gets the sacks, gets the stops. Kayvon Thibodeau off rip, kills him first down, they're like 2 yards away from the safety. So I'm like, okay, good. Defense gonna hold it down. Let's take it to OT. OT, Giants have the ball, play calling, atrocious. Punt that motherfucker. Heineke gets the ball, they get that bitch back. Motherfucking. Then I think it's a back and forth again. All atrocious play calling, defense is stopping the shit. But then the Giants get one more chance. So now they get the ball, they get an insane catch to dude last name James. Insane catch in between 2 defenders. Danny Dimes looks like he's Vanilla Vic. He came through, right? And then these motherfuckers, they're like right on the cusp of field goal range at the 60-yard line. And then they throw an out route, got 2 yards out of bounds. I was like, hey, not a bad throw, not a bad idea, but you're putting a lot of trust in your kicker because I'm thinking like this is about to be a 60-61. No, I'm thinking it's like going to be a 50-57, hopefully not a 58. Guess what it is?
What is it, 60?
58-yarder. And I'm like, and then they put up the little stat, this kicker's made 5 straight from 50 plus, but how many from 58? Kick that motherfucker is accurate than a bitch, but it's only it's short, like it's short a lot. So motherfucking now, and then low-key, there's still 1 second on the clock, and Heineke could have argued for that. They could have threw that bitch up to Scary Terry and tried to and prayed for something. But that game pissed me the fuck off because I don't think what's his name? Slable.
Brian Dibble.
Yeah, his name is Dable until further notice. Dable is not him. If he's the one that's calling plays, he's not him. Because you really had a defense that was vulnerable that you could have really took advantage of, but they didn't. So this game pissed me the fuck off.
I can't say they're vulnerable though, because they're top 10 in both rush and pass defense. I just think you can only do so much of what you got. And Danny Dimes to Darius Slayton, who's the wide receiver, like Kenny Galladay should be in jail for the money he stole to New York City. And like he owes a lot of money to Matthew Stafford for giving him that getting him that contract, because Matthew Stafford made him look like he was fucking fire. And we found out no, he's not. He's terrible. So he's in the same boat. Like I kind of stick up for him more than I do Lamar on the whole he needs more weapons argument, because at least Lamar has a crazy good defense, whereas he don't. And now at least Saquon's back. This is his first year. He can actually say he has a good running back. But I feel like the ball, like you can only do so much with Danny Dimes. And like everything I'm saying, he don't have weapons and stuff. I still don't think he's good. So you can only write up so many plays for him. And like that drop was big, because if he makes that catch down the middle, like we might be talking like, oh, they won another game, they beat division rival, it helps the standings. But I will say NFCs look so weak. This tie, I think, is better for both of them. Just because these teams with a tie, ask Pittsburgh in the year of Big Ben last year, like the ties always play a part in that playoff seeding in the wild card, especially. And I honestly think both these teams might make the playoffs, and that tie is going to help both of them out in that wild card seeding because they're going to have one less loss than some other team.
That's real. It's not going to help the Colts, though.
No, not at all. And as long, I still think Danny Dimes did okay-ish because there was some drops that like you can't fault him for. Like that would have been some big gains on his total yardage. Saquon didn't have a good game, but I didn't expect him to have a good game with Washington's defense. I took his under, it cashed. And so Heineke, I think they're both in a good situation. They're both in better situations than I think they expected, just like than they expected to be in this year. Neither one of them, and especially Washington, didn't expect to be in this situation with the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And now the backup is the new starter. Like they might be in a better position than they ever hoped for now.
Mm.
Do you have one more game for the Waterboy games?
Now for the motherfucker banger of the fucking week, you got Pat Jumpman Mahomes losing to Joe Shiesty and them shiesty ass Bengals.
3-0.
3-0. That's crazy. And this game had everything you needed, man. There was that jump man play by Pat Mahomes. T. Higgins, strong ass touchdown. Joe Beasley rushing that bitch in. Motherfucking even who got the other touchdown for the Bengals? Not P. Ryan. Might have been P. Ryan. But this game was awesome.
Chris Evans caught one of them fuckers.
This game was awesome, man. I'm really shocked that the Chiefs went out with another L, man. But damn, how'd you like this game?
Like it started off hot for the Cincinnati, scoring on the off rip, and then getting the ball back in the second quarter, doing it again. Like it was looking good for them. But then I thought the Chiefs were going to win it when they were up 24-17. I think it was third quarter, 24-17. It was looking good for them. But that fourth quarter, they're just going to get no point. I know it was a missed kick by Buckner, but this is a game I love to see in the regular season, and when they run it back, I think the Chiefs might win it. But the Bengals also might just have their fucking number because like Joey B, he just might be that quarterback. He plays down in competition because he'll have a dog fight with some like shitty team. But then he'll play a good team, and he's looking like the Messiah on the field, making big plays left and right. And I think he might be like he just might be that type of guy. Because I don't know what else to really say. Like it's everything I expected. I cashed the under. Like I said, 53 points is a lot of fucking points in the NFL.
Bro, I seen this game was like the Bengals do not fear the Chiefs. It's like they went for everything. They put everything on the line. Like the fact that most of their touchdowns weren't like walk-in touchdowns. Like you really had to fight for every yard.
Long drives.
Long drives. So this game was awesome.
Yeah, because each one of their scoring plays, the touchdown for Burrow, 6 minutes. The touchdown from Higgins, 5 minutes, 9 plays, 74 yards. Touchdown from, or at least a field goal from Fearson, 9 plays, 57 yards, 5 minutes. Other field goal, 8 plays, 50 yards, 4 minutes. And then the last touchdown to take the lead was 10 plays, 53 yards, 5 minutes. So like you said, these are not like an 80-yard pass. Like you can't expect it to happen all the time. No, these were fucking methodical drives going down the field and getting all the way up there.
Hell yeah, and Joe Mixon was out this game. So that's a difference in the playoffs. Samaje Perine did his thing, which he's done out 3 weeks, which is crazy.
And I mean, also I love Joe Mixon, but let's be honest, like he had that 1 week with 5 touchdowns. But other than that, I don't think he's really had really great weeks. P. Ryan's looking like this system. Like we all loved David Montgomery a year ago, but Khalil Herbert sometimes just looks like the better runner in the system. And P. Ryan does. It might like I know you want Joe Mixon to work because he's the better running back, but sometimes you got to go with what's working. Look at Zeke and Pollard. So like we just had to fuck it. Pollard just looks a little bit better. Give him more touches.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, neither one of these, I know it's big for Cincinnati to win for their divisional situation, But this Chiefs L is only the third loss. So now I think they moved to second in the whole seedings right behind the Bills. But, man, they're not worried about it. I just can't wait to bet on them next week. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes coming off a loss.
Yeah. And Pat Mahomes was livid. Oh, my gosh.
Kelsey's fumble. Kelsey looked like he was ready to go stab somebody, bro, after he fumbled that shit.
Crazy. But that's Waterboy's games of the week, man.
All right. Time to break it down from the top to the bottom. First game on the slate, the Steelers winning in Atlanta 19-16. We were split on this pick. This was, I think, the only game I got right on our split picks. I mean, there were spots where I don't think Kenny looked good, but for a rookie quarterback, there were some spots where I saw him was able to move the ball down the field. You guys and I think the biggest thing is just the run game starting to work. Harris is starting to be able to run a little bit more. I was just shocked on the Falcons side. Like Drake London almost had 100 yards. That was the biggest shocker to me. I was like, oh, y'all getting that boy involved now. It didn't work, but y'all getting him involved.
This is the game. This is the reason why I was mad for a lot of other games. What the fuck? So this game was very interesting. I mean, it was a good game. I think our defense played atrocious that first drive, and we was really thinking like, bro, what the fuck are we supposed to do about this? But we tied up. Arthur Smith made adjustments. Dean Pease and the boys always got something to figure out, right? So I don't want to talk. We don't have to talk crazy long on this game, but like it was a game in the second half to me. I think come second half, we figured out how to work. We looked good too because we figured out the work was running that bitch like a motherfucker, running our asses off every other play. And everybody was chipping TJ Watt. Like we figured out, like, yo, he's a problem. Like even Marcus Mariota's getting down there chipping this motherfucker. I was like, damn. He get hit hard every time, but it doesn't matter. Doing whatever we can. So we take it to the last drive. So we hit the Steelers, not Deontay Johnson. Might have been Deontay Johnson's fumbles. And
it was Deontay that fumbled, I believe.
Yeah, and then you can make the argument it wasn't a football move, but this is one of those things that like I wouldn't say it was the refs, but just things weren't going our way. It was just one of those games. Like you can make an argument that I was a fumble and not doesn't matter. I think it was me personally, but I can also see why it wasn't because I felt like he made a step left. He made a hesitation left and then turned right, and then but he had possession of that ball and made a slight football move, but it wasn't a home football move to the refs. Cool. So instead of getting the short field position, we get the punt. No problem. We get the punt. We drive it down, running the fucking ball. We drive that bitch down, and we get caught with not with an obvious holding call. Like it was obvious as fuck at the goal line, and it was on a touchdown. So like they called back all that shit. The holding call was obvious. So take it back, and then we get called for a false start, and it was obvious, of course. So get the false start. We take it back now. Now we're instead of like 1st and 5, it's fucking 1st and like forever. So down to or second or third forever. So for the last play, for third down, we hit Drake London up the seam, and the Bengals corner, not Bengals, the Steelers corner was all over his ass. And like I thought I was tripping, but once I saw the slow motion, I seen that he put his hands up afterwards, like, not me, no me, no way. Now he was all on my nigga's shit. But it was one of those plays that could have been either or. Like I feel like if it was us, we probably would have got the call. But that's not the problem. I'm not blaming the refs. I'm saying that we got put in some sticky situations that could have went either or, and they didn't go or. They didn't go or. So like it just wasn't our game to win. We kicked the field goal, and then Najee Harris gets some plays and shit like that. He gets some runs, and they close out the game pretty much. And it's just like I think Marcus Mariota had another try, ends up throwing an interception. No matter, game's over. So I'm just upset because this is a game we really could have won. But hey, man, Mike Tomlin, shout out to him. Like you said, if you've seen the video, it's always so, hey, man, I don't got time for this shit. I'm fucking working.
Yeah, that boy's like he wants to go above 500, wants to make playoffs, and I think Najee's healthy, and as a fantasy owner of him, I know we're happy to see him actually getting all the yards and shit. And he ran over one of y'all's players. I don't know. It was like early in the second quarter, I think, or first quarter. But there was one play that it made the highlights. I was like, oh shit, he's
I
back.
seen him do a terrible stiff arm. Like that shit would have been. It would have been one of those stiff arms that was like, hey yo, somebody grab my gun.
On to the next game. We had the Green Bay Packers beating Chicago Bears. And I took the Bears. You had the Packers. And honestly, it was looking like the Bears was going to win this game. It was like 19-10 at one point. And then all fourth quarter was the fucking Packers. They go on like a fucking, what was it, like a 18-0 run in the fourth quarter to take the lead, win the game. And all I gotta say is, for Christian Watson, my 50 to 1 plus 5,000 odd ticket for him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year is still not dead, and he is showing it. Like the 7 touchdowns and he ran one in. Like this man is fucking insane in his last few games right now.
So it was $50 to win one. Will you bet that?
Yeah.
Nah.
Plus 5,000. That because when I saw it, I took it on the live show because when it came out, I was like, this is crazy for a second round receiver that might be wide receiver 1 for the Packers. And then all of a sudden, literally, I made the bet. The next day, I go to probably bet a little bit more on it, and then it went from 50 to 1 all the way down to like 15 to 1. And I was like, oh, like y'all knew that was not the right odds. Like I kind of snuck that bet in before they could change it.
Oh, you caught him slipping. That's nice. But yeah, man, the Packers is nice. I mean, I've seen that Christian Watson play coming up 10th floor. I've seen that Christian Watson play like 100 times when he got the run on the end around and took it all the way up. Motherfucker's fast. Like that's straight up like fast. Like not Tyreek Hill fast, but fast.
And he caught one too. So like multiple touchdown games multiple times in the last 4 weeks.
Nah, but I mean, the Bears did the thing. Justin Fields, he ran that 156-yarder, and I think that's just what he does at this point. He's gonna run one long one in real quick, and after that, he's just gonna look crazy.
Yeah, the second half defense for the Packers tuned in. Got a couple of interceptions on Fields too. Fields, I mean, the Bears still stink. The Packers still stink, but the Packers at least own Chicago.
That shit was terrible. Motherfucking Bleacher Report sent me a notification saying Bears owner Aaron Rodgers gets the win in Chicago today.
Fact. I mean, you can't even doubt it at this point. Like he might suck. He might only win 2 games in a whole season, and they both will come by the Bears. Now, like that boy Zay said, death, taxes, and Aaron Rodgers beating the Bears.
Right.
Next game, Detroit owning Jacksonville 40-14. The Kev was all over this one. DeAndre Swift was cooking up some of Swift's season. The Lions came out early with the dicks too. They scored, I think, on the first 3 drives. Man, that hit though that Lawrence took going the last play, the second before going into halftime, it looked like he might be done for the season type shit. I bet that was his leg was in one spot when he was getting hit 2 different ways. And it was like, oh shit, bro. Like Lawrence, like limping off to the locker room before halftime. But that man a fucking dog, bro, because he did come back. He threw a touchdown coming back first drive. I know they got beat, but I just like seeing that out of him because I thought he was some pretty boy type shit, pretty boy Floyd. But seeing him take that type of hit and then still come back in a game where you're down a lot of the young quarterbacks were like, oh, just take this L. The season's over anyway. But him coming back to at least finish out the game and coming out strong at least, I was like, I kind of fuck with that out of Lawrence.
God damn. She's got some big niggas on this shit. But nah, motherfucking. I mean, this game was good. I was one of those games. I didn't tune too much into this game just off the fact that like the Falcons were fucking up. But I just seen the score and I seen that they was getting DeAndre Swift involved. For Jamal Williams, fun fact, has 14 touchdowns. So does the Broncos.
Career high for his ass.
That's a lot of fucking touchdowns. Like, but there's niggas that we fuck with that's not gonna touch 14 touchdowns. Nick Chubb might not hit 14 touchdowns.
And Swift, low-key, got a few of his, like, every week I feel like he's been back, he at least scores a touchdown. He might not put up much shit, but he's scoring a touchdown.
You can tell that they're trying to shop him. They're gonna try to trade him at the end of the season because like every game after Jamal Williams gets his, every game every game that they've been winning, they put Swift in to get these Swift to get these in the goal at the goal line, and like they'll make like 2 or 3 plays for him to get into the end zone. And like the last 2 games, even in this game, he got stopped, but they ended up going back to him again the next play, and he scored that bitch. I'm in this bitch screaming at the TV like, "Get in that bitch, motherfucker!" Because you stay fucking up. But shout out the Lions, man. They're showing that they're good. I mean, they didn't have Jeff Okuda, only held them boys to 14. I mean, this is a good team. Do they have a chance of making the playoffs?
I don't think they're out statistically, especially how weak the NFC's been looking.
That's it, because I know they got a better record than the Broncos.
Broncos and AFC. I think Broncos are out statistically right now. Next game, we had the Vikings beating the Jets here, and I knew I shouldn't have picked the fucking Jets. It's always fuck the Jets, but I'm not saying that their defense played well. It's just the Jets' offense still kind of stinks. There's a lot of field goals. Greg, the leg, zero line hitting 5 field goals. You don't see that fucking often. 5 field goals in a game, putting up 15 points by himself. Kirk Cousins looked kind of bad, though. There's a lot of passes that were just off the mark, where it's just like a few. But Jay Jettas, being the dog that he is, he was able to make some of those catches. But there's just a lot of poorly thrown balls. But I mean, the Jets defense is a great defense, so I can't completely fault the Vikings on that. But I don't know, but this wasn't the best performance out of them.
Yeah, I don't think this was an awesome performance from them. And I think the Jets defense is kind of nice, but they have their playmakers and they know how to get to them. Even Alexander Mattison scored. And like I feel like this is a game that last year they would have lost. Like all those 50-50 games they were playing. Last year they would have lost this game, but I feel like they kind of banded together to make sure, like, yo, we got to score this next touchdown and let's halt these motherfuckers.
Next game, Philly destroying Tennessee Titans here in Philadelphia. The A.J. Brown revenge game was fully in effect. Jalen Hurts puts up 380. A.J. Brown at 119, multiple touchdowns. And my favorite one was the 41-yarder, his first touchdown, because he catches the 41-yard touchdown. Then it gets called back. And then they do the same thing again, and he catches a 41-yard touchdown again. Like, oh, y'all call my shit back. I'll do it again anyway. Fuck it. And that was just absolutely incredible.
I seen the touchdown. I didn't know they called it back the first time.
Yeah, and he does like, fuck it, I'll do it twice. The first time wasn't as nice anyway.
I'm glad I didn't see that. I would have spazzed being an AJ Brown owner in the league that where Cooper Kupp got hurt.
Yeah, no, but he's fucking the real deal. Like, his second one, he literally was like all over him, and he still was able to pull him. You go out there, look at Josh Allen, wasn't playing great. They go get Stephon Diggs, looking phenomenal. Look at Jalen Hurts, he looked They go get AJ Brown, looking phenomenal. Look at Tua, they go get Tyreek Hill, looking great. Like, you go get these people weapons. It shows results.
And fun fact, the Titans GM got fired this morning after AJ Brown torched them boys.
Yeah, the team saw that shit and was like, bro, we had him on our team.
Mm-hmm.
That was the guy that was on our team last year.
Ryan Tannehill, take away AJ Brown, looks terrible.
Our next game, the Ravens winning 10-9 against the Broncos with Tyler Huntley after Lamar goes out. Lamar will miss 1 to 3 weeks with a sprained, I think PCL or MCL, but sprained.
This is a PCL. The only reason why I know that is because I didn't know we had PCLs.
Oh, okay, so he's going to be out for at least a week, maybe 3. Tyler Huntley putting up 10. And like I said, like, if you put up 17, like, you can beat this Broncos. All right. They put up 10 with a backup quarterback and was able to beat this Broncos. That should just tell you where this Broncos team is at right now.
Fun fact, the Broncos would be 10-2 if they scored 18 points every game. That's how nice his defense is with a new defensive coordinator. But I'm mad you beat me to the jump though. You ain't shit. Cause I was gonna be like, Paul, remember how we said I like Lamar to at least get 17? And I was watching this game, like 17, that's all you really need to beat this Broncos team. And I'm watching this game and I'm thinking, yo, my dog Lamar just got hurt. I don't know what the fuck to do next. And then I see like, yo, all they got, and I'm seeing that they never scored that 9. Like it was 9 all game. And I'm just like, yo, all you gotta do is score 10. If you can score 10, you Gucci. And that's exact. And they got that. It took them a couple tries because they definitely threw a pick in the end zone. Like maybe 1 or 2 drives before that. But it was just like, they're not scoring. They're not shit. And I don't think the Ravens defense played all so well. I think it was just this offense is really that atrocious. And no Cortland Sutton, even worse.
Yeah, and the run game, I mean, Latavius Murray, they were running back 1. They had cut Melvin Gordon. Like, they just have nothing going for them at this point on offensive end, and now you're stuck with it. I mean, we've hammered this in every week, so we can't keep beating the dead horse. But like, shit, this Broncos is not the team we thought they would be.
Nah, them boys are shitty as fuck.
Next game, the Browns beating the Texans 27-14. Watson's very first throw turned into a lost fumble. The receiver fumbled the ball, and then someone said, "Ball don't lie." Then he had an interception in the very next drive in the red zone. It was like I said, he's not gonna look. He hasn't touched the ball for 2 fucking years. Like he's not gonna look good in this. He just started practicing a week ago. Like, but Kev did influence my pick before the show, and I said, "Oh, he influenced me." I forgot Nick Chubb is on this team. Kareem Hunt's on this team. Texans suck against the run. And after they try to show Deshaun Watson's forte, they're like, okay, fuck it. Let's just. Oh, it wasn't even that. What was it? A special teams touchdown with Donovan People-Jones, and then 2 defensive touchdowns. It was just all defense this game. And then the Texans got a safety on Watson. Yep. Like, this was a big defense. Like, both defenses balled out for teams on fantasy this week.
Oh, no cap. No cap. I mean, this Browns D team really just stayed. The offense didn't look well, even slightly, but that defense showed up big time for them boys. And like the Texans, Damian Pierce tried, but like that defense was really there, fucking shit up. Everybody was staying aggressive. It was a good game. What killed me is how toxic these motherfucking Browns fans are. Like
the worst.
Like, oh my God. The shirts I was seeing, like, yo, I need a massage.
The fact that they lean into it, it's so despicable.
Nah, man, that's crazy. So like and then they had Texas fans that was out there with like Rey Mysterio with luchador masks and all types of shit. And I was just like, damn, this was your chance to really show out. But nah, them boys suck.
Yeah, if it wasn't, and also with like the Browns, we'll see how Watson looks these next couple of weeks against teams not named the Texans.
Yeah, this dub could have went either way. Like this defense doesn't show up like it does. This team is not.
Because early on, the Texans defense was balling. They got a forced fumble, a interception in the red zone, and a safety all before halftime.
That safety was crazy. They brought a lot of pressure on that.
Yeah, that safety is funny because they went for it on 4th and 1 on the goal line, didn't get it. So then Nick Chubb gets it, and then they brought Nick Chubb down before the line of scrimmage, which rarely happens. This game, it didn't. My spread pick didn't hit, but the Seahawks beating the Rams 27-23. DK Metcalf, that boy had himself a fucking game. He had the game-winning touchdown. He was cooking all over. His stats against Jalen Ramsey is off the charts. Like he loves playing the fucking Rams. He always has a day. But my favorite thing about this whole game was early on when it was real close in like the second quarter. Bobby Wagner and Jalen Ramsey was on the sideline with their helmets off, screaming at everybody, hyping them up. Like, we could fucking do this. The game, like, we don't need everyone. We can win this shit ourselves, right? Pete Carroll said, bet, hold my beer. He had the whole team doing a fucking mosh pit on his sideline after that. Fucking just jumping around. Fucking like I was like, Oh, Pete Carroll said, "Oh, y'all think y'all hyping up y'all sideline? Watch this shit real quick."
I'm shook as fuck.
Pete Carroll, dog, bro.
Let me know, man. I was fucking getting ready for the ball during this game, man. So why was it so close?
Walford to Wall Street. Cam Akers had like 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. They started using Akers again. The defense was playing well. Bobby Wagner got an interception, almost took it to the house type shit. Like, and the interception was one of the best ones I've ever seen. It was they both caught the defender, the wide receiver caught the ball as he's like tackling him in the air. Bobby Wagner's chest is on the ball and he like rips it from him in the air. They were balling. But then Geno Smith and DK Metcalf, that game, like the touchdown at the end was what kind of sealed the deal. And it's just like they had no answers for DK this whole game. And Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett 128 and a touchdown himself.
Yeah, so they figured that shit out. I respect it.
Then this game, Dolphins losing 33-17. I'm not gonna make excuses. There were multiple. We just shit the bed at a lot of places. What's up, Cal?
Bro, what happened? I watched the game. I was watching the game before I got ready. Y'all guys got the 75-yard breakaway. I'm like, oh shit, because I missed that. I'm like, oh, I get the bleacher report. Oh, Dolphins getting started early enough. I gotta hurry up before it's not a game no more. I'm over here mad. That I started the 49ers defense. Like, what the fuck? But I seen that boy Kyle. You should use it. Kyle Yuch, whatever you name it, the only fullback in the league right now. Motherfucker scored that touchdown, and it felt like it was still back and forth after that. When I come back, y'all boys lost 17-33. What happened?
Man, so all first half, Tua just didn't look good. I'm not gonna say Tua looked good. Like he was, and it was a mix of Nick Bosa in his face. It was like 2 or 3 sacks before halftime, and Nick Bosa was all over him. But then there were some throws where he just missed the target. It wasn't like there was someone in his face. He just and it's not like Tua to not make those throws, but a lot of the media is gonna lean into it like, oh, Tua looked terrible. Da, da, da. I'm like, the 49ers have only let up 20 points once in this whole year. It was against Patrick Mahomes and company. We put up the second most against this team. We score a second half touchdown, which hasn't been done since like October 5th. We scored a fucking second half touchdown. Tua still puts up almost 300. He did throw 2 touchdowns, but it was two touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So like, it's not like he just had a terrible day where he only had 150 yards and interceptions, like how some people are writing the story. I just think the big thing is we didn't have our starting tackles. We did say Nick Bosa would get his. I did think Tua would be able to get the ball out quick enough. With Jalen Waddle getting hurt, it didn't help also because that's his second favorite target. It does where everything could go wrong, it started going wrong. We also game plan for Jimmy G. Brock Purdy came in the game because Jimmy G broke his foot. He's gonna be out. We didn't have a game plan for Brock Purdy and what he plays like.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Iowa State. I remember watching him in college. That boy's some games he does well, sometimes he does shitty. Now there's tape out on him. But also our defense. They let up 33 points against a backup quarterback. So I've been big on this defense. Hasn't looked like it has been in the last few years. And you can't let up 33 against Brock Purdy and the 49ers. I know they have a lot of talent, but this is still Brock Purdy. This is a game when I saw him, when Jimmy G went out, I thought we should have, we should be good. Even if we put up 17, we should win. How y'all let up 33? So it's just where everything could have gone wrong. It went wrong for us. I don't think it's a defining L. We'll be back. Like we still put up. Tua still threw 300 yards against the best defense in the NFL without his starting tackles and Waddle going down early. So we'll be back. I think we'll be fine.
And I didn't know how deep Mike McDaniels and Kyle Shanahan's relationship was. They literally got like 4 or 5 different stops together.
The Texans, Browns, and then that shit was crazy when I saw all that. But we'll be back. 49ers, I said a couple weeks ago, I think they're one of the better teams in the NFC, and they starting to show it every week now. without Jimmy G now, we'll see for without Trey Lance or Jimmy G, they picked up Baker Mayfield in the waiver wire shit because Baker got cut by the Panthers. He might be a backup. Maybe he'll start over Purdy over some. Who knows? But they have no quarterback and they might make playoff runs still, which is fucking crazy.
That's actually insane.
Last 2 games on the slate. The Raiders beating the Chargers 27-20. I should have listened to you when you told me Josh Jacobs against this run defense. We both picked the Chargers. I think I kind of swayed you into that pick. But, yeah, another great running back against the Chargers, and they lose. Like, this has just been the same thing since last year. I've kind of kept doubting Josh Jacobs, and I think I can't keep doubting him anymore. He's kind of proved it to me that he's legitimate. That guy this year. He's no longer just middle of the pack. And Chargers fans can ride it however they want to ride it. Y'all are still down a lot. Like, yeah, Herbert threw he threw a late touchdown in the fourth quarter to make it 27-20, but like it wasn't close throughout the game.
Yeah, you can definitely say that. Austin Eckler didn't look good, fumbled.
Devontae Adams 177.
Dog. Everywhere he goes. How many touchdowns do you have? 1 or 2?
I believe he had 2.
Bro, monster. He's a fucking animal.
And the Raiders are low-key looking like the team that we thought they would look like. And I don't think they're out of the playoff hunt just yet. Like, they could win out and maybe squeak in like they did last year.
Oh, yeah?
Because they have beaten, who have they beaten the Chargers, the Cardinals, and the Broncos, I believe, in a row. Oh, no, the Seahawks, Chargers, and Broncos.
Yep, took both those teams to overtime and
2 divisional games and a really good team in the Seahawks.
There it goes. Is the Seahawks? Oh no, the Seahawks aren't. Never mind.
And our last game was the ass whooping in Indianapolis. Oh no, in Dallas.
Oh my god.
54-19. Cashed in the anytime interception prop. Cashed in the plus 450 Cowboys defensive touchdown. Thank you, Maurice Hooker. I mean, I should have said Matt Ryan throws 2 or 3 interceptions because those would have cashed as well.
5 turnovers from this Colts team is insane.
They have 30 fumbles on the year.
What?
30 fumbles on the year, bro. And Matt Ryan is like 3rd in interceptions on the year. He didn't play 2 games. He's like 3rd in fumbles on the year. Again, didn't play 2 games. Like, I think my take was the best take ever. Like, they try to hide the fact how bad he was with Sam Ehlinger, and the amnesia has worn off completely.
That's crazy. They lost 54 to what they scored, 14?
19. But that, that last, I think the last was like a field goal or something. But this was bad. And Dak, I mean, I cashed both interceptions. Dak threw one also. I knew he would throw one. Jerry Jones is going to make Dak throw the ball early. The game will be close at halftime. And then Matt Ryan will stink it up some more.
No cap. That shit is crazy how this game went.
And
they
Michael
scored
Gallup.
26. What they scored? Didn't they score like 26 points in the fourth quarter?
I think it was 33 or some shit. It's in the 30s. I know that much. Yeah, like ran it up. Michael Gallup a couple touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb caught one. Zeke had one. Pollard had one. It was just like, who wants one? And then that's actually the last of our games. Shit, yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, that wraps up all the week right there. Fucking the ass whooping in Dallas. I can't believe both our teams lost this week. We're gonna come back strong next week though. We do have coming up, don't miss out. We got UFC 282 on the way. We got to recap UFC Orlando. We also got to talk Thursday night football, which is the Raiders and the Rams. So stay tuned for the Totally Blitz podcast coming this week. We got a whole bunch of shit on the slate coming up. But Kev, I think it's time to break it down for him.
Hey, man, this was week 13 of the NFL. My team lost, Paul's team lost, your team lost. But if you didn't know, we don't mind telling you again that this has been a Totally Blitz podcast. We in the this bitch, Paul. I'm in this bitch with Paul Pick'em Winter concert. My name's Kev Waterboy Savoy, and we was talking that real shit, man. And if you don't mind, if you have a problem with it, I don't mind telling you that you's a bitch.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap, man. This gang got rules, man. You better watch your passes, this ain't not new.